Good morning, Flosstube. Pam, stitching between the lines. Friday morning, August 27th, 2021. Isn't that something? August 27th. I don't love summer. I mean, we're on the lake, so I love a lot of things about summer. It's been really hot and muggy though, so I'm over it. And it's been an exciting summer, and you know, if you're a regular watcher, my daughter got married in the middle of July. I talked about it in my last video. So that was really, that was monumental. This is our oldest, it's the first wedding, it's all those things, right? And we were in a real down dip, real down, low level. COVID wasn't really an issue. No masking, no, that kind of stuff. So I feel really blessed that we managed to have that event when those were the circumstances, because a lot of people traveled. And now we're in the other direction, and we mask every time we go anywhere. So it's okay. We're tough. We can do it. So anyway, I started this video once, so this is take two. I couldn't find my microphone, and I looked all over. I had everything set up. Like, there's a bin here and a bin on the floor and stuff on my sewing machine cabinet and a little precarious balancing, and I couldn't find my microphone. So I looked down in behind the sewing machine cabinet. It was back there, so I had to get down on the floor and get it out of there, and then I forgot to plug it in. So, and then my daughter texted me and needed a response. So I just thought, we'll just start this over and do it right. So, as many of you know, I work on one big project a month. Project. There's a T at the end of that. Say pet peeve. And I try to pick one big one to work on for a whole month, and then one sort of minor one, like maybe medium one. Maybe it was once considered a big whip, but maybe within that month I'll be able to get it finished. So this month's choice we'll come to in a minute, because first, oh crud, hang on. Sorry about that. I tossed it over there because I showed it in my first original take. I had been working on Lizzie Kate's tingles, and I had been doing, trying to do one or two a month. The tingles come in one of her kind of double pattern, Lizzie Kate's, where there's two patterns in one, and you can get a free border, much like, I don't know, she's got a bunch that are like that. So I had done it all the way down to these bottom two. So I got that out, and I finished it. Piece of 32 count Ren, picture, or Ale. Picture this plus. I had to look it up for you last time, like 10 minutes ago last time. It is so cute. Such a cute little, I'll go slower, project. These remain my favorite. These so cute little trick-or-treaters. So stinking cute. The border pattern, well, first, Lizzie Kate, as many of you know, has retired, but 1-2-3 Stitch retained the rights to her pattern, purchased the rights to sell her patterns. So if you can't find these 6 patterns in your own stash or on the secondary market, check 1-2-3 Stitch. So the free border pattern, which I understand is still on should still be on her website, included things like this bottom border, and then some of the spacers that just filled some of the gaps in the stitching. Probably these that go on either side of this one were in it. So it was very fun. It was definitely a fun stitch. Don't know what I'm doing with it, but it's done. Scratched off my whip list. Then the minor pattern that I picked to work on for the month of August was 'Twas the Night by Sue Hillis. It's out of project bag. Stuff has been put away. So this is just clipped on there to remind me. This was my third pick for fabric. I started this thing 3 times trying to get a nice little yellow fabric similar to the picture, and it turns out that 28 count Monaco in antique white, DMC, Charles Craft, which was really felt nice. It really was a nice feeling fabric. I like my fabric to be a little bit plump, just a little bit, just to have a little bit of I don't know, has a nice feel to it. So I stitched this. I loved this. I collect 'Twas the Night Before Christmas children's storybooks. I started this in Mania 2020. Now, why am I not showing you the finished product? Because I had taken a wedding photo to Hobby Lobby. We have a new Hobby Lobby. For me, it's 45 minutes away easily, maybe more, because we've moved further from the mall area. So maybe it's closer to an hour. But if you have to do any kind of serious shopping, you're driving up there anyway. And it's only maybe 10 or 15 minutes from one of my daughter's houses. So anyway, I took a wedding photo up there to pick a frame, an enlargement. The cat has come to visit the party. Oh, what are you after? Excuse me. The microfoam comes with a couple of these little foamy things to put over it. One of them was almost a cat toy. So it's an odd size photo, maybe 12 by 10. It was odd, so I couldn't just assume, I don't know. Anyway, I took the picture up there, and they only had a couple frames that were in that size, and I just didn't like the way they looked. And so the woman that worked in the frame shop came out, and we were talking about choosing a custom frame. So we did. There, see? A little sneaky peeky at the pictures I'm not supposed to be posting. I see that. It doesn't feel like anything, so I'm going to turn it around and look closer. Yeah. I didn't see anything. There's nothing there to see. I like the way they put this on. This is heavy duty. This is serious application of a hanging wire. So they did a nice job. And while I was there, I could see in the back room that she was working on a piece of needlework. It was embroidery. It was an old piece. So I asked her if she would show me what she was doing, because, really, I was kind of trying to learn what she knew. And it was an old piece of embroidery that somebody had brought in, and they had the frame already that they wanted it to go in, and the frame was bigger than the actual fabric. So they were getting a mat to cover, to make up the difference. And the lady at the store was actually stitching, poking, needle poke up, poke down, back and forth, stitching that fabric onto that piece of foam core board. I tried to find a piece of foam core to show you, but I don't know, probably downstairs. And so she had just stitched it on. She stretched it ever so carefully and stitched it on there. And I was so impressed. And she was talking about, usually I like to do whatever, she talked about lacing and pinning. And so I thought, all right, well, maybe I'll take a chance and see if I dare take anything to her. So I put this piece in my bag, and I thought, if it's not the same person working there, I'm not going to leave it. Well, it was the same woman, and I pulled it out, and we were looking at it. She said, oh, I've been getting so many pieces of needlework. So Ruth and Norma, listen up. I have seen your pieces. They're gorgeous. So here's my question, though. I have a couple questions for you guys, for you ladies. Did you follow her from the prior Hobby Lobby she worked at, or did you take a chance on her like I did? She worked in another area Hobby Lobby, apparently. It's one was always kind of outside my range of, I wasn't driving way the heck up there to go to Hobby Lobby. But tell me, though, did you follow her to here, or is this your first time taking anything to her? Because I don't have the piece to show yet. I thought, even if I hate the framing, I'll take it apart. I'll still have my piece. So I'm not really sacrificing my needlework to this experiment. Honestly, I could make it again. I don't want to make it again. So I'm nervous. And especially after, well, the foam core board, sewing it down thing is a great solution for a couple pieces I bought frames for at a different big box store maybe 2 years ago. And I told the story of what the person behind the counter at the frame department said that just blew my mind, and there was no way I was leaving anything. I had no intention of leaving anything. I was just picking frames, and I needed to use her ruler for a minute. And she was so pushy and demanding about me that she framed tons of my friend's needlework, which I don't know really what that meant. She didn't really know. She made a comment about how I was going to get the needlework to stay behind the frame if I didn't have glass. That was interesting. It was a whole interesting thing. So I told that story probably 2 years ago. But anyway, now I know I can sew it down. So anyway, I was planning to try to have a piece like that done so I could show you what I'm talking about. But it didn't happen. Whatever. I like to stitch more than I like to finish. So, Ruth and Norma, let me ask you, was she kind of pushy about glass? Or did you always want glass on yours? I don't get a lot. As most of you know who've watched me for a while, I don't get glass on pieces generally. I like to have a little bit of batting behind the piece, and I like it to kind of just swell up a little tiny bit behind the frame. It's more of a, I don't know what to call it, look. I don't know. I like it. It fits my style more. But she was insistent she put glass on it, and that they put glass on it, and there was no two ways about it. Which I didn't mind necessarily, because my frame is a pretty like a formal looking frame. I guess I kind of didn't like how insistent she was about glass. Pushy would be the word I'd say. So I'm curious if this is something you experienced, or if that's what you wanted. So I don't know. My daughter was with me, and she suggested that I take a framed piece along with me next time, if that's how I wanted it done, so she could see. So next time I should have something to show you. I should have one of my August finishes to show. And Ruth and Norma, I got to see your stuff. Anyway, that was kind of fun. So my whip that I didn't finish, and I'd like to finish, was Paula Vaughn's July. Oops. This piece is killing me. And I stitched some pieces. I'm not easily harmed or killed. I'm not by cross stitch. It's first of all, let's just get down to the brass tacks about this. Here's the done version, though. I'm pretty close. What I have is this. Plus I have some more back stitching on the quilt, but this quilt is all done. And components are all outlined over here in the back. I haven't done the chain, and a little bit more of the swing needs back stitched. And the floor over here needs back stitched. The floor over here is still in the works. Is the symbols. They're killing me. The symbols. I'm serious. Let me see if I can sneak some of these in. So here's polka dots on white. Let's scroll down here for a minute till we find polka dots on brown, and polka dots that are orange on white, and polka dots that are on cream. And I don't know, that's just an example of that symbol. There's more symbols. There's a ton of back stitching that's labeled in black. You have to read the instructions to figure out which you really do those black in. Like these, I don't know. I don't get the whole system of back stitching that involves. I don't object to it being so many colors. It's just the presentation. So somewhere along the line, I have done 2 different colors of back stitching on the swing, because I did this at one time and I came back and was trying to, I don't know, I really don't know. When you're trying to get back into the swing of it, sometimes a pattern like this, you've lost your rhythm and you've lost the details that you wrote down, and I did it in the wrong color. I think it's hard pressed to figure out that they're wrong colors. I did this little section 3 times because I thought it looked awful bold. It just didn't look like the picture. And then discovered I'd used the wrong color. Then discovered it was supposed to only be in 1 thread. Some of them are 1 thread, full X's, some 1 thread, half an X. And because what I did when I was looking, I thought, well, what did I do over here? And this is half a stitch with 2 threads. It should have been 1, but it's not getting taken out. It's kind of all up in there around all that back stitching. So the sky is going to stay this 2. These are all in 1. And it's just frustrating. How many times have I taken things out because I can't figure out the color, which was several times in these areas. So I'm trying to embrace the back stitch. I'm working away on it. I still don't have the floor done here. It's close to done. There might be one more color that gets in there, and then a little here. Back stitching. I haven't back stitched like the flower bud that's on the floor. I am going to keep working on this. I'm not going to stop in September. This is coming with me on into September. I don't think I can finish it by then. I don't know. The intensity. I don't know. But after the confusion with the back stitching threads, I don't want to put it away and pick it up in 6 or 8 months and try to figure out what is going on. So this is staying with me into September. This will be a finish. So that now we all know, or we've started to learn, that I have devised a new method of not having a whip, starting something and not having a whip. It be something I can start and finish within the month, and because I make my whip list in the beginning of the month and at the end of the month. So that's my workaround, because everybody needs a workaround. So I decided I wanted to do some strawberries, and I signed up for the Erica Michaels berry class. It's a virtual class in November through Needleworkers Delight. So I thought maybe I should make some. So I started with this one, and I did it on a piece of 32 count tarnished Belfast, and that's all I know, tarnished Belfast. I'm not really sure. I have no idea. And it's 32 count. It was just a little 8 by 12 cut that I don't know where I got. Don't know. And I stitched it. Well, it was supposed to be on something different. I don't know what. Something Picture This Plus. I can't read. My berry pattern is in there. But I had this, and I thought this was kind of the same color as the thread that's called for, which was Otter Creek. So that was close. And I stitched the thread color I used to stitch it was Snowball, which is a crescent color. So it came out really nice, cute. I hated the 1/1. Hated. I know how to do it. I've done it. I like things that are petite. I don't always dread it. I just didn't like it. Anyway, I made my berry cap using the larger pattern for a cap. The pattern includes 2 cap patterns. I had a piece of white cream wool that was exactly the right size. So I traced it, put it on, and then I was thinking about doing a button on the top, and I went into my button box and I found 2 buttons that I was quite happy with putting on there together. So they're stitched on, and then I did a teeny tiny little stitch in the dip of each of these. You can't even really see them. To just kind of hold it down. I wanted to stand up like the strawberry was wearing an umbrella. So for our first strawberry, I'm quite pleased. It'll go in a bowl nicely. It was super easy. They're really easy. I mean, there's nothing but a straight seam down the back and a gather up here, and then figuring out what you're going to do. So that was nice. I have my next one lined up. Oh, I don't know where my next one is. It is here. No fear. I had this one. I thought I would do that. So I was looking around for fabric and stuff, and I have this piece of kind of peachy something or other. I don't know what. No idea. And kind of starting to pull threads, and right off the bat I didn't have like the first couple threads. I thought, well, that's silly, find something that works. So I have this little wee tiny foursome of Victoria sampler threads that my friend Lori sent so I could see what they were like, and I think they look perfectly springy, lovely springy. I think that they are going to fit the bill here on this very soft creamy. And I picked out butternut squash for the chick. I had a different yellow in mind, but this one I found first. I want the chick to be kind of bright and cute, pretty. So that will be the next one I do. I thought if I'm taking the class, I maybe should have a couple strawberries made, not FFO'd though, in case. I'm intending to learn a few things. In this example, she's really done, I mean, it's springy and they're really cute. She's done some real cute finishing ideas for the tops. So I would like to learn and hear. This one to me just seemed a little bit formal. Maybe it's the color that just didn't lend itself to making a frou-frou sort of strawberry. So I liked my buttons. So that will be in September. I will stitch that up. And then because I want to do berries all of a sudden, just a few, not all the berries, just a few, I bought a couple more patterns. This, because it's stinking cute. And this, because I always like a moose. And this one. All very Christmassy. So, Mistletoe Kisses, Christmas Berry, and Naughty or Nice. So they're all Erica Michaels. No saying that I'll actually finish them all between now and November. And while I was ordering things, I ordered the latest Little House Needlework. Because someday, I swear, I've got them all piled up. I'm going to make that like street scene. So that's part of my intentions, my good intentions. And because I was feeling all shopping-like, I bought some note cards. I like to send, like if I'm going to send a card or something, I like to have note cards handy. And I really had worked my way through my collection. So on Etsy, yeah. Let me see if I can read it. I used to tease my husband when we go to a restaurant and he needs to hold the menu far away. I always say, do you want me to hold it up for you? But, you know, now the last laugh is on me. Celebrate the Little Things. Handcrafted for you by Celebrate the Little Things. I'm going to assume that's her Etsy name. I believe you could order choice of envelope color. It is. It's true. Because with these I got the cream one. Some hydrangeas. And they're all blank cards. Isn't that cute? So cute. So, I've already used one. Yes, look at me go. Celebrate lilthings.etsy.com. You see, like, let's go over that in case you want to go Google. You know, Etsy doesn't let you put in the search engine just any old thing and pulls up everything that's similar. So celebrate L-I-L things.etsy.com. I will put it in the Dropbox down below. I have to go somewhere later this morning, so I don't know if it'll be finished uploading by the time I'm leaving. So if you're one of the quick like a bunny first viewers, come back and look at the drop down window again if you're not seeing it. I have been able to put things in the drop down window on my iPad sometimes and have it work. Most often it's quickest and most efficient for me to put it in once it's up. I can edit, you know, what's in the description box. But that's no real excuse for not making it easy for anybody if I'm going to promote a person's Etsy shop. What else? Oh, I happen to be on Facebook just at the right time to see Dixie Sampler have some hand-dyed fabrics made available, and I purchased a few. This piece is called Chamomile, which it's hard to say how true the color is. I'm not going to take it all out. And surprisingly, these, which were colored bisque, I think, antique bisques, are pretty pink. Pretty pinkish, which surprised me. So if I don't really like that peach for that chick, maybe one of these will work. We'll see. What else have I been doing? I have been negligent in discussing any books because I haven't read anything I would like to share. I am slogging my way through the third in the Winter of the World. Wait, am I going to say it right? Book 3 of the Century trilogy. So it starts at World War I, and the next book is World War II, and this one is sort of everything that happens afterwards. The Berlin Wall, Cuba, blah, 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 blah. 1,200, almost 1,112 pages. This is getting finished today, I swear. I swear I'm finishing it. I've had enough. I've read a few Ellen Hildebrandt books, which I love Ellen Hildebrandt generally, but I was going back and reading the last couple that I haven't read, and I hate them. So I can't recommend them. The one of them is A Summer Affair. I forget what the other one was. Didn't like it. But I'm slogging my way through because, you know, I'm not a quitter, right? And then we have a cute little antique store in town that, you know, finally opened it back up in the spring after COVID, and I have a new house that needs things, right? I collect Longaberger baskets. I have so many that I limit myself now to mostly the ones that have green. So this was the 2004, I think, Christmas basket. Yep, 2004. It's called the gumdrop basket. So I got that, and then I keep looking at it thinking it needs a little quilt somewhere around it. Sitting on a quilt draped in it, folded up out of it, something. So I got myself busy, and I made this little, it's about 11 by 11 maybe, it worked out. These squares finish at 1/2 inch. I was really pleased with the outcome. It took me like 6 hours though to make the thing, because you know, little pieces don't make a quilt go quicker. So I was making an observation about my quilting, is that my cross-stitch pieces have gotten a lot more complicated and complex, so that they take me a long time, and my quilts have gotten a lot smaller. I don't have room for many more quilts. I'm constantly trying to give them away to my kids, and my cross-stitch pieces, you know, the more, like, you churn them out, churn out the smaller pieces. I don't even know what to do with them anymore, and FFOing is not my favorite thing. So I have, you know, you've seen some of the things I've either made or purchased. So where'd that go? When I was digging around for the strawberry, I had this, like, this was supposed to be talked about when I talked about finding the wool for the strawberry, is I found this wool kit in my bin of wool things. I can't, now I want to make this. Isn't that the cutest? It's not very big. So this part is cotton. And then you make this snowman with this woolly scene. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? In the Meadow by Pumpkinberry Stitchery. Can't even begin to tell you where this came from. I can just tell you I've had it a long time. So maybe, if I'm not feeling like actually making anything quilty, I will do a little bit of applique. So that's in my bin of things. Now, I seem to have actually 2 bins next to me because this started it. This will be talked about a whole bunch more in my next video. But this is not in my whip list. But if you're a longtime viewer, maybe I showed it a few times in my early video making. That is Heaven and Earth Designs, something Vistas. I knew it when I started this video, and now it's out of my brain. Vibrant Vistas. So I had to dig around. I got to thinking about it. You know, I'm not a quitter. And I was thinking about it, and this is what it's supposed to look like. So I've done an entire row of pages and then started the next row. Yeah, mostly the last time I worked on it, I did all the stone in these two silos, whatever they are. So I was thinking about it, and I went looking for it, which led me into the bins. So we will talk more about this. Like, I put it up there to help be inspiration. We'll talk more about it. There's some unresolved issues, but I intend to get back to it. I'm actually kind of excited to get it out. But what that led me to were the bins and bins. Oh, one more quick little whip. Tiny, sorry. I hope you're keeping up with me. I can switch gears really fast. This was in my, I started this the first 3 days of January. I started one thing each day, pretty much with the needle and thread. So I've only worked on this, I think, 2 days. But yesterday was a really big, long, busy day. And last night when I finally sat down to stitch, I was just tired. I was tired. I didn't feel like getting into July, Paul Yvonne's July. So I just grabbed this out of the basket and put a few, I did all the leaves from here on over, and that's it. I didn't even have it in me to do like the last 3 leaves that are up there. So anyway, I don't want to neglect showing that. Snowbirds. That's with the needle and threads, snowbirds. Anyway, back to this. I got into the bins. And in the bins are all my kitted things. And a few of these in this bin, I think on the top, I probably showed you. I'm almost positive I showed fairly recently that I kitted up this Madame LaFay. That's it. I'm only going to show you that it's kitted up, really. I mean, there's a whole box of threads. There's fabric. It's another, I think this is some more antique white. Even weave, yes. And I recently got this pattern out. I bought this a few years ago. Here Comes Santa Claus, cross-stitch pattern. I know I should have done this before, but I cannot have all these kits open up with components laying around. It is, I'm trying to find who's by. It's by Kanicki's. What has happened to Kanicki's? Where is she? She hasn't done a Flosstube in forever. And she also, one of the things she does is does printed fabric to go with these patterns. So I have the 36 count Prim and Whims linen that's printed with the sheet music of Here Comes Santa Claus. I know, this is one of the annoyances. Here Comes Santa Claus has no E at the end. Santa Claus has no E. He's not a clause like you add to the end of a contract. But it's in there with an E. So I find that a little annoying. Sorry. I know. I'm not dissing anybody's artistic skills. However and why ever that happened. So, it's just, the only thing you stitch is the Santa Claus. He's a beautiful old Santa Claus. But I don't want that Santa Claus that color. So I got out a Santa pattern that I had. Let me see if I can do some arranging of my DMC. I got out a different Santa Claus, and I looked at all of the reds that were used in there, and I pulled them and intend to attempt to make the same adjustment in the Santa Claus. Like, he looks green, which I think he probably is, but the colors are like 611 and 612 and 610. Those are all browns. I don't know. Maybe I'll end up back with a drab brown Santa. I don't know. We'll see. This is in my box of kitted up projects, ready to pick out on a whim, because that's how it works. Sometimes I know what I want to do and I kit it up, and sometimes I just need the things are ready. That is not going back in there correctly. Another little lovely that got kitted up at some point. There's bobbins in there. Was On the Beach by, can't read. Tra-la-la. Again, a piece of even weave. Look at me go. White. It needs to be really crispy white. That's here. Ooh. This is one I'm looking forward to doing. Is the feed sack. Carriage House Samplings. Reindeer feed sack. The fabric, I think one of the things that keeps stopping me is the fabric, while it is that gingham, is really darker than it looks on here. So I think I even ordered fabric again to make sure. I don't know. When you fall in love with the picture and you can't replicate it, sometimes it's frustrating. Ooh, this, I bought this. I ordered it actually. The first StitchCon I went to, the Cricut collection in Keepsakes, they had this done. And, you know, I like a good patriotic and water and pine trees and everything. I don't know why this isn't started. Look. All the goodness is in there. Thinking that's a piece of Picture This Plus. Picture This Plus Legacy. Ooh, this I just kitted up. Just laying on my counter since I don't know when. Since I bought it. Hands-On Designs Patriotic Row. Patriotic Tiny Town. I actually need a fabric or thread or two for it. There's a thread. Oh, yeah. Look at my choice of fabrics. Perfect. A perfect piece of Joblin Summer Sky. That is the best for a summertime scene. That is in that bag. Project bag. And this is a really big bag. I wonder what's in it. Oh, this I showed you this not long ago. Just got put in a bag as I've been kitting it up. So, no guarantee when that will get started. I don't really think there's anything in here. I don't know why it's in here. Oh, maybe just because in case I need a little project fold, you know, for whatever reason. That was ages ago. They sold this piece. It was like you could buy the kit of the whole thing. I think the pattern's still available. Winter Wonderland, but not with this. Now we're getting into the really big bin, the old bin. This I had pulled this out to try to find fabric for it. I pulled it out the other day. It was in the bin already because the threads are in it. I pulled it out, left it out when I got out Vibrant Vistas to find some fabric for it. This is another Tra-la-la. Oh, Luton de Noel. I don't know what Luton is. I don't know. It's just cute. So it actually made it into a project bag, but there's still no fabric for it. So I will relocate that to over here on my flat surface. Ooh, I've gotten to see this one finished. At StitchCon, somebody brought it. It's way bigger than you think. 215 by 140. 215 is pretty big. It's a fun one. It's a cute one. Peter and Peep with thy needle and thread. There's no fabric in this one either. I guess this one gets relocated over here to the flat surface. I actually kitted this one up maybe a year-ish ago, and I haven't done anything with it for no good reason, because it's cute. Well, you know, good reason, not good reason. I have a ton of whips. I'm not really starting things all willy-nilly. Summer in Nantucket. There's fabric in here. It is, I don't know. I should know the name of this one. I feel like I should know this one just by looking at it. I didn't write it down. Maybe it's the called for. Oh, it's Picture This Plug's Fog. Is that called for? I don't, generally I don't even worry about what's called for. I just stitch. I do not see, it does not jump. Oh, they use Confederate Gray, which is not high on my list of favorites. Confederate Gray, the snowman is being done on Confederate Gray. The one I showed you I picked up last night and put the leaves in. What is in here? The tag is an old pattern, but look, this cracks me up. Where are we going, and why am I in this handbasket? Wow, there's a lot of something in here. Oh, I say. It is. I know where to put the grocery store now, because it's my entire collection of all the things that might make up my Main Street. So, let me find, excuse me for half a minute while I find my, all those patterns I showed you that I recently purchased, so I can find my grocery store and add it where it belongs. Look at me be all organized. Probably I'll rip my hair out trying to find something I know I own. I'm going to wait and show you this one in a minute, because it really, really might be my next start. Let's see what else is in here. I don't know why these are in here. There's not even thread in here. There's thread and fabric in here. Here comes Santa Claus, right? Santa's List by Country Cottage. Did I show you something else? I'm not sure what I was thinking about. It's the, oh, and this I've stitched, right? Haven't I stitched this? I'm pretty sure I've stitched this. Don't hold me to it. I don't know why it's in there. See? That canceled out my previous being efficient. By there being a pattern in here, I think I've stitched. Ooh, this is a good one. I kitted this up. I almost was going to start this too, because it involves beads, right? We all know I love me some good beads. It's got all the threads. Ooh. Huh, tempting. Best laid plans. Don't even ask. Don't even ask. We're not even going there. Oh, this is a good one. This is, here we go. This is all the patterns to do this, which is Shannon Christine's. And I have each, there's, yeah. I have a piece of, I think it's chalkboard. Yep, chalkboard, 28 count, Lugana, even weave, Fiberlicious to try to do. I've worked on black before and it's been torture. I'm going to try. So I have all the patterns in here, each individual one. And then I think online you get the border. I do not see that I printed anything out, so I don't know that the border's in there. This one's kitted, not in a bag, not in a project bag. My general rule of not ever stitching mice is, you know, kind of thrown aside when the mice are doing something really cute, like baking plum pudding, wearing their aprons and their little dresses at Christmas time. I'll make an exception. Oops, that was open. Oh, I don't even want to talk, right? Did I say this is the like this is pretty much my only long time whip, like, that's been neglected? Maybe I never started this. Every time I try to start it, I somehow can't. I want to do this whole row. I have the tin that it's, or the little jar it's supposed to go in. I've got thread. I've got fabric. I do not know. I got it out once. I was going to start it. I just don't know. I don't even want to go there. Let's not talk about it. I'd like to say we're nearing the end. I'm pretty sure we're more than halfway done. The Scarlet House's Patriotic Scissor Pocket. I love a crock. We've talked about that before, right? Oh, I wondered which one of these I had. I had only one of these. If ever, I'm just saying this between you and me. Don't be telling my kids. If I ever got a dog again, I imagine it might be a little dachshund. So I have one of these. Jeans and weenies. Cute, right? My neighbor, a couple doors up, watches her daughter's dog during the day when the daughter goes to work. And so it's the cutest little dachshund who's very mouthy. So we've had some chats, the dog and I. I don't even know the dog's name, but I enjoy seeing the dog. I bought this at the first ever... No, did I buy it at the first... StitchCon? If I didn't buy it, I think in the trunk show is when I sort of, it caught my eye and maybe was sold out. I really don't know. Oh, because it's Christmas. See, here's gingham that's a lot lighter. So what gingham is this? Light khaki. Maybe I'm ordering more gingham so I can do feed sack. I don't know. Don't make me shop, okay? Don't cause me to shop. I want to do this thing, this part of it. There's buttons in there and thread in there and fabric in there. One of my pieces of Silk Weaver Chocolate Vanilla Swirl from a million years ago when I was in their Fabric of the Month. Ooh. Madame Chantilly. Tout à la mer, which is something about going to the beach. The sea, the something. I don't know. To ask my daughter to speak the language. Oh, this one, I'm sad that I'm not doing this one, that I haven't worked on this one. In my mind, I keep wanting to start this one. This is Shakespeare's Peddler. This is by Jen of Jen's Stitching Niche. Made this. Purple Martin Apiary. Oh, crud. Oh. I'm pretty sure that's somebody telling me my car warranty has expired. Let me just decline that. It's a phone number with an area code I've never heard of. Oh, I picked up two. Speed this process up. Oh, this is another one I really want to start. This is one of the parts of the Chris Kindle Market, the pretzel stand by Pickle Barrel Designs. I was just thinking about them today. Isn't that funny? Today. My little bin is in the way. That's the full, when you stitch them all together. That's in there. Oh, also, ooh. Also in there is, because it had to do, you know, is one of the stitching with the housewives. Phew. The only thing in there is the pattern and a couple charms pulled out of my collection of things. I organized all my charms and buttons recently, like as in, I don't know, last March. I have no idea. And I had a collection of these little things, little silver guys that I thought would be cute, maybe in this one, you know, that look kind of like cutout cookies. Oh, here's the best of the lot. So apparently they got themselves their own project bag without any thread or fabric. Oh, we're close to the bottom. This is insane. What happens is either Picture This Plus is having their sale, and I go through patterns and I figure out if is there a Picture This Plus fabric I want for it. So when I do the big order, or needlework. No, there's a store that does a thread sale every year. I go through and pick out what threads I need for like my top 10 picks of patterns, and then I manage to assemble everything. And really, I really want these all to be next. Love this Cricket design, the old bathing suits. The minute I saw it, I had to buy it. It's got all the goodies in there, fabric and everything. And this one, again, wow. It's the same song and dance. You guys, you know, we all play the same game. Is Long Dog samplers, quilts. That is like me. That neat. No reason, no good reason. It's got thread, it's got fabric. I see 2 more things laying in the bottom of the bin. They don't even have project bags. They just, right? Who doesn't love that one? Look at those colors. Oh. And Easter Peep. Yes. Love. I did one of her finishes like this. The one with the cat wearing the pumpkin. So stinking cute. And actually, I managed to do this very effectively, efficiently. So I would finish like that again. And then finally, I know you're all saying, thank God. I love a good whip parade or that kind of thing. So anyway, that's what we're having here. The wish they were a whip parade. I think this might be the next thing I start. Because who doesn't love this? And when it was brand new and everything, I was just like, oh, I don't want to start the same thing everybody else is doing. Just looking what's in here. All the threads and some odds and ends. I want to add a snowman. And so I'd had a few patterned snowman. A Santa Claus. Sorry. I found some, like I have this button, and I found some patterns with some little Santa Clauses that I was giving consideration to. So anything is still possible.
I didn't get that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Do you hear Siri? She's talking to me.
I'm not sure I understand.
Maybe that's how this day is going to go. During the first recording that I aborted, I got a text. During this one, I've had a phone call, and you know who on my watch has spoken to us. All right. So there's several. There's a waving Santa. He's cute. I'm not really sure. Here's my dilemma. I actually ran across, when I was doing buttons for the strawberry, I found a button. It might be perfect. It's sort of the same tone of color. I don't know what I would sacrifice to put a Santa in here. I feel like, I thought, well, the clock has to stay because some of the most beautiful old department stores that don't exist anymore had a big fancy clock in them. In my area, there's a famous clock that is actually had been on display at the airport. I believe it has been moved. I don't know if they've taken it for refurbishing or if they have decided that it's spent enough years on display in the airport. It was something, though. It was a whole thing to see. And then the other one department store that was, you know, one of those fabulous, like 8-story tall departments. Just loved that department store in downtown. Had a clock in it. You know, I can think of clocks in department stores that were noteworthy. So I don't want to take the clock out. To me, that needs to be there. This is like the little girls type toys, and these are like the little boy type toys, so I don't really want to get rid of that. I don't really rightly know where Santa might fit. Like, I don't know. It'll be something for consideration. So I might give that a go. Give that a new start, because I have whittled down my whips to 12, except that I'm drawing this guy back into the lineup. But if I finish July, that takes that down to 11. I mean, there's still some pretty hefty projects in the works there. So we'll see, because sometimes I have plans and then it's time to start something and I just don't want to, and I start something totally different. Totally unexpected. So there. I don't have any... there's some things happening. It'll be Labor Day next weekend. Not this one that starts tomorrow, but the following one. School starts after Labor Day in New York, and we're having some work done outside. There's workers here. There's some other workers that are supposed to be here. They're like, why? We'll see you at 7:30. They haven't been here at 7:30 yet. I don't know, what is it? 9:40. They're not here. So I'm not really sure what their game is. We don't know. But anyway, there's some work going on outside. And what else? I don't know. Just stuff. Just stuff. Things. So I hope everybody's doing well. I know we're sort of, laying low again because it's not real safe, even if you're vaccinated. I don't know. But anyway, we'll get through. We will make it through. Have a good weekend, everybody. And it will be sooner than the end of September that I'm back, because I'm pretty sure my stitched piece will be done at the Framers. So we can take a look at that. Bye-bye.